Welcome to UA Live. I'm Macy.
And I'm Griffin. Coming up in the show, we look at the Crew Team, a new ice cream place in UA, and drama student Kate Glazer.
On February 21st, at least 300 Upper Arlington High School students and staff participated in a national walkout in memory of the 17 people who were killed in the school shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. On February 14th, the walkout in support of the hashtag Never Again movement began at 12 p.m. and lasted 17 minutes in memory of the 17 victims.
Students had permission to leave class in a safe manner in unity with students throughout the country participating in the national movement. Students in Texas trying to participate in the movement were threatened with suspensions if they chose to walk out.
Upper Arlington High School is holding a student and community meetings to discuss school safety.
High school students are being invited to participate in conversations with school administration during their study hall periods, and the first community meeting is in the Upper Arlington High School auditorium on Monday, February 26th. On February 8th, 17-year-old John Staley III was sentenced to 4 years in adult prison for plotting a mass shooting at Hilliard-Davidson High School in 2016.
Staley had drawn up at least 3 diagrams mapping out a shooting at the school while trying to recruit other students to assist his plans.
Investigators also found that Staley conducted extensive internet searches about school shootings, guns, ammo, and explosives.
A fellow classmate overheard Staley talking about his plans on a school bus and did the right thing by telling the school resource officer. Staley pled no contest, arguing that he was depressed. Both of Staley's parents are deceased. Before sentencing, Staley begged the judge to have mercy on him.
Ohio's unpredictable weather provides students with excitement in the winter months when snow is in the forecast.
Upper Arlington Superintendent Paul Imhoff talked with Sydney Lowe in January about the process that our district follows when determining whether or not to call off school. With that, Sydney Lowe provides us with behind the scenes on his early morning decisions.
This past Tuesday, Dublin, Hilliard, Worthington, Gahanna, New Albany, Wellington, Columbus School for Girls, and Columbus City Schools were all closed due to inclement weather. Upper Arlington was one of few schools to stay open on the chilly 8-degree morning, along with Grandview and Bexley. According to Weather Underground, at 10 a.m. on Tuesday, the wind chill in Columbus felt like -3 degrees. I spoke with Upper Arlington Superintendent Paul Imhoff about how he makes the final call on snow days.
My decision is based first and foremost on safety. And is it safe enough to go to school? And if it's safe enough to go to school, we're going to have school because we exist to educate the young people of UA, and that is what is most important to us, if it's safe. And so on this Tuesday morning, the conditions here were safe enough to have school. Anytime we think there is going to be weather, I will talk to the operations staff on the night before. Then if something's happening overnight, I will get up at 4 a.m. Typically our operations staff's been up all night, either salting or plowing or those sorts of things. I'll get up at 4 a.m., talk to people we have out driving the roads to see what's going on in UA, and then I try to make a decision by 5 or 5:30 a.m. This was my impression. I don't know if I was it seems that a number of students of the high school disagreed with my decision to have school. That was my impression. I might be wrong about that. I love the students in this school district, and I love the students at our high school. The best thing about the UA students is you all are really intelligent, and you are not afraid to engage with me as the superintendent. You are not afraid to question me, and I think that's all great.
UA has had 1 early dismissal due to icy roads and 2 full calamity days caused by heavy snowfall. Now we shoot to John and Caroline at sports.
Welcome to Sports. I'm John.
And I'm Caroline.
Today we will look at Optimus basketball, college commits, and the Crew Team.
The Optimus basketball teams have been around for many years and have been a popular recreational winter activity.
Here in UA, the Upper Arlington Optimus Association provides an opportunity to compete in a fun and competitive rec league for all students to occupy themselves during the long winter months.
Dugan Turnbull takes a closer look at this topic.
And the reason I got involved was because at that time my 3 sons were all playing Optimist basketball. And I figured, shoot, man, I spend all my Saturdays watching Optimist stuff. I might as well run this thing. So I've been doing it, I think this is either my 9th or my 10th year. But we've got close to 900 kids participating in Optimist this year from kindergarten all the way through 12th grade. In our boys 10th, 11th, 12th league, this is our biggest league we've ever had there. We had 188 boys sign up to play in that league. People say, well, why is this so popular? I've got a lot of answers for that. First, it's a ton of fun. It's something you could do with your friends. What else are you going to do on a Saturday in the winter time? And my gosh, OptiBall. It's what everybody's talking about. Others say, well, should my kid try out for the school team? By all means, try out for the school team. It's fun to play for your school. But the school teams only take about 12 kids per team, and so the other 900 kids need to have something else to do. And Optimist is for the other 900 kids.
Optimist basketball is perfect for UA students who enjoy the fun of the sport.
Upper Arlington High School boasts many talented athletes, some of which decide to continue their athletic career onto the higher levels.
More than 8 UAHS seniors have committed so far. However, there are a handful of younger athletes who have made their college decisions much before their peers.
I talked to a couple of these athletes about their dedication to their sports and their recruiting processes.
Juniors Max Martz and Jackson Ness, along with sophomore Allie Morgan, are just a few of the student athletes from UA who are prepared to extend their skills to the collegiate level.
I'm committed to the University of Illinois.
I committed about 2 weeks ago, and I'm playing at the University of Pennsylvania. I'm just kind of just rolling in the process.
Sophomore Allie Morgan has been doing gymnastics for 11 years. She's a level 10 and she competes with Universal Gymnasts Incorporated. She trains 20 hours a week and has always wanted to compete in college.
I've always been just in the gym a lot, and I've seen the upper athletes when I was little commit to colleges, so I've always wanted to do gymnastics in college.
Junior Jackson Ness plays tight end, defensive end, and left guard for the Bears.
I've played football since probably 7th grade. Coach Keller has done a fantastic job of guiding me which direction to take and how to take it.
Junior Max Martz has been a varsity basketball Bear since his freshman year.
I've been playing for pretty much as long as I can remember, probably 3rd grade or so. Practice is usually about 2.5 hours each day, I would say, and it can be pretty difficult.
Max and Jackson both received many offers. However, Jackson remains uncommitted and the offers continue to roll in.
I had 7 offers, I believe. Those included Dartmouth. I got one from OU, Stony Brook, Purdue, Western Carolina. Iowa State was yesterday. Toledo, Bowling Green, Miami, and Marist.
For many of these young athletes, the process of finding a school that wants them begins at least a year before they commit, with the athlete reaching out to many coaches and slowly narrowing down their choices.
So my recruiting process started at the end of 8th grade, and I just started emailing coaches a lot of videos and my results at meets, and then it really got intense at the end of freshman year, where I started calling them a lot more and going on visits.
My recruiting process began probably sometime around last season, and it was just a lot of contact with a lot of different coaches, phone calls with them and going on different visits to other colleges. I'd say the recruiting process for me started sophomore year when Coach Cutler, my head coach, suggested that I go up to Michigan State with a bunch of other sophomores in my class and took a nice visit, got a feel of the campus. I thought that was really special. So I think that's kind of how it started. And then junior year, it really took off because I went to University of Penn for a more personalized visit, kind of junior day after the football season.
Choosing a school is as stressful and difficult for these kids as it is for any senior. But in addition, they have to look at the athletic side of each university as well.
A coach looks at you and say, hey, I want you on a part of our program. And I think the most stressful thing that comes of that is eventually telling them no and deciding which college
you want to go to. I think that's probably the most stressful part, but I haven't gotten that yet.
It can be stressful at some points, and it's a lot of contact, a lot of different coaches, but I think it all worked out well.
I got an offer from the University of Illinois, so then I visited. And then when I went to the campus, it was just the right choice for me. I loved the environment between the gymnasts and the coaches.
I chose Penn because I visited there last fall and immediately loved the campus and everything. And my connection with the coaches was really great as well. And the mix of academics and athletics, I think, was the best fit for me.
So what happens after an athlete commits?
I think it's a lot less stressful for school and gymnastics, but I just have to still focus on my academic work.
They want to maintain a high GPA for the team. So yeah, they do expect me to maintain good grades still. I mean, I haven't received any backlash yet. I'm sure I may, I don't know, depends how I'd react to that. I would just say I'm pretty lucky to be able to have gotten into this great school on athletics instead of academics. But I think I've worked hard in both.
As the head UA football coach, Joel Cutler says, it's a grind and a job, and to do it every day at the next level takes a true love for whatever game they play, and a true team player. This has been Caroline Perlitz for WARL.
Obviously, we've got some talent here at UAHS. Along with these 3 students, all of our teams are full of dedicated athletes.
The UAHS crew team is home to some of these great athletes, and crew has grown increasingly popular at UAHS over the last few years.
Aurora took a closer look at crew regattas and practices.
6 days a week, 52 weeks a year, the Upper Arlington crew team spends nearly 20 hours a week training. On Saturday, September 16th, the team traveled up north for one of their hardest races of the season, head of the Cuyahoga Regatta. Pulling their hardest strokes for 5,000 meters, the boys' team brought home 1 bronze and 3 gold medals. Over on the girls' side, they brought home 2 silver and 2 gold medals. The Frogtown Regatta in Toledo, Ohio is the next regatta on September 23rd. The crew team will be even more prepared to bring home some clinkage. There are no cuts to the team, you make dozens of friends, and get to travel all over the country. No experience is needed, and walk-ons are highly encouraged. Interested athletes can go to uacrew.org to learn more. This has been Aurora Sherrill from the WARL.
Bears on 3! 1, 2, baby!
Spring is a busy time for the Crew Bears, and it will be very important as they head into spur racing season.
They will race at Midwest Scholastic Rowing Championships the weekend of May 12th, as well as the Midwest Junior Rowing Championships the weekend of May 19th.
Depending on the boats that qualified, they will also travel to New Jersey for Scholastic Nationals the weekend of May 25th, and Youth Nationals in California the weekend of June 8th.
Now to Sam and Aurora with Community News.
Hi, I'm Sam.
And I'm Aurora. On February 5th, the City of Upper Arlington began a new program for trash disposal by Local Waste Services.
All households are provided with 1 trash can and 1 recycling can as a part of the service.
Speaking of trash collection, students at UAHS take their own approach on collecting trash and promoting recycling. Here's what Ms. Wilson and her students have to say about it.
Trashless Tuesdays basically means that we are taking all of the trash cans out of the cafeteria and we're setting up a table where we collect the trash instead of letting students dispose of it themselves.
We're mostly looking for recyclings and composting, not mostly for trash.
So we have a big table set up and students just, like a lot of students will either have a tray from the cafeteria or they have a paper lunchbox. And then we go through that stuff. Everyone wears gloves. We have uniform shirts that we wash every week. And we go through and take out anything that can be composted, like fruits and vegetables. We're actually saving anything that's unused, like granola bars that haven't been opened. We're going to donate those. And then anything that can be recycled, like paper containers or paper, we're trying to save all the paper bags that we can that aren't dirty, plastic bottles, cans, we're recycling, and the rest of it we're still throwing away.
My job is putting trash and recycling. It's really fun.
Students can help by not throwing stuff into trash cans, but trying to give it to us for us to sort it out instead of like walking out and putting it into trash.
If anyone else is interested in volunteering and helping out, we could give service hours to those students. We're going to continue the rest of the school year. Our long-term goal would be to continue every day next year, but we're just kind of seeing how things go, how much compost we collect, how much of a routine we get in this year to determine whether we can do it every day next year. But that's our goal.
This has been Aurora Sherrill for the WARL.
Thank you to the students who are helping out to reduce the amount of trash. If you are interested in helping out, get in touch with Mrs. Wilson.
On another note, rolled ice cream has made its way around social media.
Freestyle has opened on Lane Avenue and brought a new twist on ice cream. Here's Lily taking a closer look.
This new ice cream parlor on Lane Avenue appeals to a new type of audience of ice cream lovers.
Can I get an original base?
Freestyle serves rolled ice cream with multiple varieties of ice cream flavors, add-ins, and toppings. Worker Chloe Krieger discusses the business, background, and process of making this cold treat.
So the process is that you take a liquid base and then you pull it or roll it out flat, just like scrape it down on the cold surface, and then it becomes hard enough so that you just can roll it into the cup and it just rolls perfectly. It takes probably like 7 minutes. It's like from like Thailand, it's like a, I guess, tradition there. And it is gluten-free.
It contrasts with its competitors, Grater's, Dairy Queen, and Jenny's, by adding in an experience with a different style of creamery. Customer Izzy Peterson shares her opinions on Freestyle ice cream.
A couple of my friends heard about it, and so we just thought we'd give it a shot, and it's pretty good. Yes, I was satisfied. The service was faster than simply rolled up in the short north.
Overall, Freestyle provides a rolled style ice cream that is close and accessible compared to the Short North rolled style ice cream parlor, which has tricky parking.
Now that Freestyle is open, Graders is going to have to battle it out for the best ice cream shop on Lane Avenue.
Speaking of battles, many people this season have been battling the flu.
Influenza has spread across every territory that the United States owns, and there have been over 125,000 cases.
A research study shows that the H3N1 vaccine is only 10% effective.
Here's how this winter's flu is affecting the lives of UA students and what the faculty is doing to help.
The flu of winter 2018 has hit Central Ohio hard this year, leaving many students to ask how they can stay healthy. I interviewed UAHS student Dugan Turnbull on how he's preventing this year's outbreak.
I prevent the flu by washing my hands after I go to the bathroom. I cover my mouth when I sneeze. At the gym, I'll wipe down my equipment after I use it. Just, basic clean habits.
I also talked to school nurse Lori Long about her advice for students and staff.
So basic things that students and staff can do to avoid the flu is stay home if you're sick is always one. Wash your hands a lot. All the things you learned in kindergarten. Lots of fluids and rest if you're not feeling well. The flu is often passed by coughing, so stay away from people who are sick. You can tell if you've got the flu because the flu generally is a high fever, chest pain, kind of a cough, and people are really, really tired. So those are lots of people call lots of things the flu, but that's really the true flu that's going around.
There's a handful of things you can do to help prevent the flu, but is the administration doing enough to clean the building and ensure a healthy learning environment for its students during this flu outbreak?
I know there are some school districts where schools are closed so they can do extra cleaning. I think we're just doing right now our normal amount of cleaning, which is on a daily basis. It's always a good idea to wash your hands, wipe your phone down. That's a pretty dirty thing, but we don't have as much flu as some of the districts. We just really have scattered cases among the staff and the teachers right now.
Although the flu is yet to hit UA hard, be sure to remind your teachers to wipe down tables, doorknobs, and other things that can spread the flu. For more tips to prevent the flu, visit Mrs. Long in the nurse's office. This has been CJ Cresciatos reporting for WARL.
Avoid close contact with people who are sick and be sure to go to the doctor immediately if you are experiencing symptoms.
Now back to Macy and Griffin with Maine.
The end of February brings the annual musical that has students and staff putting in extra long hours.
The show this year is titled Anything Goes, and Carolyn and I caught up with the lead of the show to find out about her life in the spotlight. Upper Arlington High School is known to have a tremendous vocal music and performing arts program, boasting 6 choral groups, an annual musical, fantastic fall follies, and more. The school is bursting with talent, but there is one student in particular who stands out.
Hi, my name's Kate Glazer. I am a junior at Upper Arlington High School, and I do theater around town, downtown, and at school.
Kate is in both women's glee and vocal ensemble, an addition-only choir at the high school. She also has played main roles in many school musicals, most recently as Glinda, the Good Witch in Wizard of Oz. Along with this, Kate has worked with over 10 theaters outside of the school and has worked in about 3 professionally paid shows.
I am currently in my 22nd show I've ever done. My first role outside of school, that was kind of a big deal, was Patrice in 13 the musical, and it was at Star Players Theater, and it was the first time I got to work with other people from all around Ohio. I drove probably an hour to get there every day, and it was such a great experience. I finally got super into musical theater, and from then on I've started doing probably about 5 shows a year.
Her mom, Christy Glazer, says that her first big memory of Kate in the theater is when she got the role of Fiona in Shrek, the musical, at Hastings Middle School.
And that is one of my favorite memories. It was a huge role for her. She was wearing my dress from high school, my performing dress, and it was just a really great moment.
Kate is not your average teen. Her schedule is packed as she manages performances and maintains good grades.
I wake up and go to school like everybody else does, and then I usually go home. I have to drive 20 to 30 minutes sometimes to get to rehearsals, and so that means I'm out of the house for about 5 hours, and once I get home from rehearsal I have to finish up my homework and go straight to bed. Most days I'll usually practice my music at the piano for a while, or dance in my basement a bit to just keep the skills up and everything.
Kate relates her success to hard work and passion.
As far as like success for my age goes, I wouldn't go so far as to say I'm like well off into my career, but I've definitely made an effort to get involved a lot for my age, and I've done a lot more shows than a lot of people my age usually do, and so it's kind of set me up to be successful later in my career. From every show I do, I end up learning a lot as well. I've learned a lot about discipline and organization and just how human emotion affects other people and how what I do in my life affects the world. And I think that that's something I cherish very dearly and something I will always keep with me.
Kate plans on majoring in theater in college and hopefully making it into a career for herself later in life. For anyone who might be interested in participating in musicals here at school, Kate says, just try it.
But something I'd just love to see is more people get involved with the arts. I think sometimes people are either scared to do it or they don't really know how to get involved, but just take a chance and go out and go to an audition. It might change your life. It definitely changed mine for the better, so.
This has been Caroline Perwitz and Griffin Quinn for WARL.
You can see Kate in the musical, which runs from February 22nd to February 25th in the UAHS auditorium. Stay current with uavocalmusic.org.
That's it for this edition of UA Live. Thanks for tuning in.
What's this? Let me see these teeth, pal.
Yep. Yeah, that's about right.
This child is a prime example of what chewing tobacco can do to teens. It can lead to mouth, cheek, tongue, and gum cancer, and it can lead to several other negative health effects. And that, kids, is why you dab on the dip. What have you learned today, son?
Don't dip. And causes a lot of cancer.
Mm-hmm.